Hey guys, so as promised, I am back to share with you guys how I created this shaker card right here, which I shared in my last video, my AliExpress haul video. I used a die from AliExpress as well as a pretty die that Erica Scrap Diva 29 gave me. It just says beautiful, and actually it's a die set that says make it beautiful, but I just used the beautiful word. And this note card came from Joanne. It was a pack of 6 for $1.50. I used some sequin out of my stash as well as some paper from, I believe this paper was from Pebbles. It was a paper stack that I purchased from Tuesday Morning last year. It's actually a Halloween paper, and it looks like this. It's a really cute paper. This is one side of it, and this is the opposite side. And as I said, it's by Pebbles, and it's called Pumpkin Patch. It's their 31 collection. So just in case you guys see that at the store, you can pick that up if you're interested in it. I made 2 different types of shaker cards using the same type of note card. So this is a square note card in a pack, and I made the smaller frame on this one. I made the larger frame on this one. So I'm going to share with you guys today on how to make this smaller frame, because I think this is a really cute way to dress up this note card. So the things that you're going to need are, you're going to need a die, because it makes life easier. And so this is the die set that I'm going to use. This is actually a frame die, so it cuts out this frame, and you can take the middle part out of it. You're also going to need a rectangle die or just some scissors to cut your acetate with, so that you can put the acetate on the front. You're going to either need some tape, which I use this thin tape from Joanne, or I use whatever size I need to use, but on this one I'm going to use the thin one because the frame is very thin. I also have this one, and I have like various sizes of this tape, but you're going to need some tape, or either you're going to need some really strong glue, which I most of the time use my glossy accent, which I put in this small bottle from AliExpress as well. You're also going to need your frame top, some foam. That's probably it's probably best to use the same color. Try to use the close color to the top of the frame. You're going to need some acetate, and acetate is nothing more than transparency film. It's a clear sheet of paper pretty much, and I find mine's at the thrift store. I found this whole box for $1.99, and it had 110 sheets inside of here. So if you're looking for inexpensive acetate, either you can use your old packaging, or you can find something like this. The right on transparency film is cheaper than the one that you can send through your printer. Just remember that if you have to go and buy it from the store. I've also bought transparency from Amazon, which most of the time you get a better deal, but if you can find it at the thrift store, definitely pick it up. And then you're going to need your card base, whatever you're going to use. In this case, I'm going to use a note card because this is already created for me, and all I have to do is just jazz it up. So we're going to use one of those. And to make life easier, I've already put tape and stuff on here so that we wouldn't have to sit there and watch me cut all this stuff out and put tape on it and everything. So I'm just going to move all of this stuff over and start the tutorial. Like I said, it's super simple, super easy. On this particular one, I'm going to build from the bottom up, which means I'm going to put my foam down first on top of my note card. I'm going to try to get it as centered as I can. Add my shaker bits. I'm going to put my transparency on, and then I'm going to put my top on, and then I can embellish it however I want to. In the sample that I showed you on this one, I put just some twine around the top. I did a double bow, put a button at the top, and I also put this word beautiful on the front, and that's the way that that one came out. On the second one, I didn't do any of that. I just did the shaker components in the inside, and that was it. And I left it as is, and I thought this one came out super cute as well. So it's up to you how you want to decorate it. I'm just going to show you guys the easiest way to do a little shaker, because I know that you guys were asking me to do a shaker on film. So remember that with the foam does stretch out a bit once you die cut it. So just be very careful with your foam that you don't handle it too much and you don't stretch it out too much, because it will stretch out on you. So I just put some double-sided tape all the way around, and all I'm going to do is just really press that double-sided tape in there, because you want this to stick really well, because you don't want any of your shaker components to come flying out when a person is shaking it. And so I'm just going to take off the release paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it off from the corners just like this, and not all the way, but I'm just going to bend it down. And I learned this from a lady here on YouTube, Coastal Crafts, I believe her YouTube channel is, but I will definitely leave her link down below, because I thought this was such an awesome trick to get things lined up properly. So I just took the corners off of this, and all I'm going to do is try to center this the best I can on top of my note card. And the great part about taking off just the corners is that you get a chance to kind of see where you're putting it down, and you can kind of make sure that it is as centered as you can possibly get it, because I'm always off, guys. I'm always like crooked, I don't know. And even like this, I'm off. I'm completely off over here. So I'm just gonna kind of lift that up, and that is the great part about doing this little trick, is that you can lift this back off and you don't have to worry about this being stuck all the way down yet. And so you just want to make sure that, first off, I'm going to open this all the way up. Makes life a little bit simpler. And I'm just going to kind of try to center that again. And because it's foam, it does want to wiggle around a bit. It doesn't really want to sit as good as paper would. You can also do this with just cutting out multiple layers of paper in order to make this foam part. You know, it'll just be out of paper, and to me that is easier, but it's just that it takes a lot of paper to do that. So once you have that down, all you're going to do is pull your little tabs that you made all the way around. You're going to pull all of those off, and you're going to just press that foam into place really good, because you don't want, again, any of your shaker bits to come flying out. And you want to make sure that when you're pressing your foam down, that you're pressing it as flush and as tight as you possibly can get it, because you don't want your corners to be bowed or anything like that, which is very easy to do because, like I said, foam likes to stretch out. So the next thing that you want to do is you could release your tape at the top here, and you can actually take all of this off. And the reason why I do that is because when you put your shaker bits in there, you don't want to worry about your shaker bits coming flying out when you try to take your release paper off. So just go ahead and take that release paper off of there, and then we're going to do the fun part, which is to add our shaker bits to it. So since this is more of a fall, and this is how I keep my little sequin, but since this is a more of a fall card, we're going to take some of the more fall colors, the darker, more rich colors, and add those to the front of the shaker. So you want to add enough, because you don't want sorry, that one kind of stuck. You don't want to have a shaker that is not enough, but you don't want to fill it all the way up where it's going to be too much, you know. These pretty ones I got from Elise. She gave these to me last year, I believe, these clear shaker bits. And you want to make sure that none of it gets on your tape part. And let me pull out some green ones. Give me one moment. And these are my little green and blues here. I got all these little containers from the thrift store. Whenever I see them at the thrift store, I go ahead and pick them up. But I'll put a few of these blues in there, some of these greens. I think these are very pretty. And I'll put some white in there and some yellow. And just some, you know, they're just fall colors. I think it would be really pretty inside of here. So that is about it. That's all I'm going to put. I just put them right in the middle because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take some glossy accents as soon as I find out what I do with my little bottle. There we go. I'm going to take some glossy accents and I'm just going to put a few dots here and there around my shaker. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I actually want some of my sequin to actually get stuck to those pieces. And the reason for that is that when, if your sequin, if the person is shaking it, they're all going to fall down. And you want some of the sequin to stay at the top. And you can actually use a little tool and like sit there and put sequin wherever you want them to stay. But I don't do that. I just, whichever ones stay is the ones that stay. I don't worry with all of that. And so, sorry guys, I forgot I took my little tape off, so I don't want to shake it too much, but I do want to shake them around so that some of those sequins will rest where I put the glossy accent. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do, because we already took off our tape, is I'm just going to lay down my acetate piece right on the top. Just make sure that it's kind of centered and that it's touching all the areas. And once it is done, then you are done with that portion of it. And see, that's how it looks so far. And now all you have to do is just put your top on. And so I put tape on here already as well. I use that 1/8 inch tape that you can get from Joann, or you can get score tape. Score tape is really strong, but it's up to you. So just make sure though that it is stuck down good. You can also use the glossy accents, and then that way you have a little wiggle room to make sure that your pieces are layered on top as best you can get it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go from one edge to the next. And I'm sorry, I'm standing up trying to do this because that's the only way I can see into my camera to make sure that I'm in focus. But you want to make sure that you get this as lined up as you possibly can, because like I said, that foam kind of moves around a bit on you, and so you do want to get it as good as you can. But that's the reason for using like an orange color foam underneath an orange panel, because then that way, even if it's not completely lined up, it doesn't look as bad. Just see, like at the top, I can tell that it's a little off up here, but it doesn't really look that bad, and can't really even tell that it's off. And so all you're going to do after that is you're just going to decorate your shaker. But as you can see how some of the shaker bits are already stuck to the back of the note card. That's exactly what you want, because you don't want all of your shaker bits to fall to the bottom and get lost at the bottom. That way, if you do put a sentiment at the bottom, then you don't have to worry about all your sequins being behind your sentiment. So that is about it. That is how you create a shaker, and that's how I created this one as well as this one. So that is about it, guys. And if you guys have came over to watch the tutorial and you guys have stuck with me to the very end, I wanted to thank you very much. And I know that this is not much, but it is something that I wanted to give away. This is a die from AliExpress. It's a little cute little witch on a broom, and I will be giving that away to one lucky winner. All you have to do is leave me a comment down below and tell me if you like making shaker cards or if you like receiving shaker cards. I love shaker cards. And if you've made one before, and if you have, then tell me what your experience is. Maybe, you know, if you like it or if you didn't like it. Or if you have not made a shaker card, would you consider making a shaker card after watching this tutorial? Because I think that the way that this shaker card was put together was pretty easy, I hope. So that is about it, guys. So for a chance to win, all you have to do is be a subscriber, live here in the US, leave the comment down below, and I will pull a winner on Saturday of this week to win this cute little witch girl. I thought she was cute. So that is about it, guys. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Take care, guys. Bye.